it's really not obvious how to do justice to the brain and the imagination in the way we talk about the body. And you can talk about bodies in very, very many ways. Coming from an embodied position within cognitive science, we're always interested in many ways to think about the bodies. And I'm going to share a tip that I got from perhaps an unexpected source. It was from the Indian Upanishads, and specifically from the Taittiriya Upanishad, but I'm not going to bother you with that. The trick is very simple, and we're going to use it. We're going to use it to develop a notion of three ways of looking at our body. We call them body 1, 2, and 3, but there's only one body. There's 4 and 5, but we're not going to do those in these videos. We're going to do 1, 2, and 3. And it turns out to be a very good way of introducing richness to one's thinking about bodies. To start with, we'll start from a basic observation I associated with Jakob von Uexküll, but it doesn't matter who it comes from. It's to recognize that the body is the a priori for existence for an embodied being. Without a body, you're nothing. And the world as it appears to an earthworm, and the world as it appears to a whale, are very, very different worlds because they've different bodies. You could even put them in the same place, the earthworm and the whale, and they still wouldn't have any, for example, commensurate experiences. So the world appears as a function of the body. But if you put it like that and you only think of the body one way, you end up with the complement of the body appearing a little bit odd, more or less like a shadow. So if you think you know what a body is, then you could characterize its environment, its world, its milieu, its surround, its context. Those words are all quite difficult to wield well. And if we look at the body one way, we see a different world. And if we look at the body another way, we see a different world again. That's the advantage of having 3 ways to look at the body. So I'm going to start, this is a body, and taking the exercise seriously, consider the body, and this is body number 1. Yep, takes up space, has a bum on the ground, throws a shadow. Body number 1 is often what we refer to as a thing. Is the body considered in some respect as a thing? That's where anatomists are at home. They study body number 1, treating the body as a thing. The corpse is body number 1 on the slab. Body number 1 takes up space, and in the Indian tradition they call it the body of food. We might get back to that after we think about the heart a little bit. But body number 1, the body of food, the body that has to eat in order to survive, takes up space. We're familiar with that one. Its surround is its physical surround, where we interpret that word physical in the everyday sense, not in terms of physics. So a corpse on a slab has a slab as its surround, for example. And now, following the language of the Upanishads, inside that body and pervading it is another body. Let's call this body 2. Body 2 is animated. Body 2 moves. You can think of a tap dancer, for example. A tap dancer is very different from a corpse, and a tap dancer is very, very animated. Body 2 is interactive. It interacts with people. Body 2 will turn out to be very important in consideration of the breath and of speech, for example. Body 2 is also the domain of the physiologist, who's interested in processes of change and exchange of the body. So body 2 is moving. Because this is an animated body, its Umwelt, its context, how we describe its surroundings, will be different from body 1. Body 1 has its bum on the seat. Body 2 is talking, and its world includes everyone it can talk to, for example, or dance with. Inside that body, and pervading it, is a third body. Now we're very far from the simple corpse here. This will be associated with the organ of the brain, and in the Upanishads it calls it the body of mind. So we have the body of food. The second body is called the body of the life breath. That's a very good word. And the third body is the body of mind. And because we're asking about brains and imagination, we're going to use this system and we're going to use it quite precisely. So 3 bodies: the body that takes up space with a local physical context. The second body, the body of life breath, that interacts and is animated, that interacts with others, and its context is everything and everyone, its web of relations, if you will. And body number 3, the body of mind, that will pose us no particular difficulty, but we'll have to take our time to get there, and then we'll better understand what we're doing when we engage in brain science. Now, in case you think Indian texts aren't trustworthy, this is Gray's Anatomy. Very famous work, and I've referred to it before. And there's a picture of the circulation of the body. And we're going to do what's called a heart meditation. The heart meditation means starting with body number 1, thinking about body number 1, then body number 2. And actually the heart meditation doesn't really get to body number 3. We're going to need a brain for that. But let's do the heart meditation just for bodies 1 and 2. Now, you know a lot about the heart. You've learned it from things like Gray's Anatomy. You know the heart is a nexus of 2 distinct circulations. 2 separate circulations. One of them will be associated with body 1 and one of them will be associated with body 2. The circulation associated with body 1 is the bright bursting blood of the aorta. The heart provides blood for the whole body. That's what the left ventricle does. It just squeezes out this rich oxygenated blood. Now I've lost my page. And it squirts it down there and it gathers it up and it comes back in through the vena cava in the right atrium. And there's all the blood going around the body. That goes to the brain, and it goes to the muscles, and it goes to the kidneys for washing. And very interestingly, because here the wisdom of the Indians is clear, what the aorta sends out is a little bit different from what the vena cava gathers back in. Because the aortal blood goes also to the gut, but the gut doesn't return it. Rather, there's a second circulation. This is not the circulation controlled by the heart. And it's the liver that returns the blood into the vena cava. So down here, between the gut and the liver, we have a second circulation. And this is indeed where the body draws the distinction between food and shit. Pardon my French. It's a very important distinction, and it's associated with the first body. The first circulation is purely body internal. It doesn't interact with anyone or anything. The heart has a second circulation, and the second circulation is shown here in Gray's Anatomy up here. And this is relevant to body number 2 because that's where the blood goes out to the lungs, is refreshed with oxygen, and comes back in ready to be delivered back to the aortal circulation. So the second circulation of the heart is interactive. It interacts with the air and hence with anyone and anything it can interact with. We said body number 2 is animated and interactive, and we see this in the structure of the heart and the body. There's a first circulation which is body internal, and a second circulation which is the life breath. So that's pretty good. The third body we'll have to treat in a separate video. We'll leave this here for now, just having introduced bodies 1 and 2 and a promissory note for body 3, because there's still a lot more to do around here.